the parents of the children we see on the street or along the roadside? Have we ever thought about them as ticking bombs? Prostitutes, thieves, frauds, yahoo, baby-making machines. You mentioned them. All deviants contributing to deviancy within our community. Today, on this episode, The Street Children, the government has a lot of questions to answer. It's BISA. BISA with better. BISA. It's BISA. BISA with better. The idea of children on the street violates the Children's Act, which states that under no circumstance should a person below the age of 15 be allowed to fend for himself or herself. Then by now we should have arrested a lot of people. Don't forget to watch and be with Dalton ISA. Be inspired with stories from Africa, where values, passion, and environment comes to life. Right now, or should I say currently, as a result of urbanization, we get a lot of migration happening from several areas, from Ghana to other countries. In Ghana here, we have like from the northern region to the Brong Ahafo, and then from other countries, the majority of them we call them the Fulanis. But according to several reports, currently Accra is housing 50,000 street children. 50,000 street children, and I repeat again. Surprisingly, according to some reports, the total population of children in Ghana under the age of 15 is 38.01%. And the youth constitute the most important human resource potential that can contribute significantly to the overall development of a nation. Guys, this is a whole workforce out here. 38% of youth, and we have just left them to be wasted on our streets. So now just imagine if you are having about 50,000 of youth on the street along the roadside begging for alms. Whilst we have a lot of factories, we have a lot of works that they can do, we just left them to be on the street. These particular topics makes me feel so sad, because we are all to blame here. We are all to blame here. And surprisingly, nothing intrigues me more than the presence of this particular Fulani children on the street, because it's a mixed feeling between sadness and anger. Their parents are just seated from a distance, watching them. Sometimes I feel like they have a remote with them and they press pause, press stop, press beg, press collect. It's surprising. The children never leaves the mother's side. I don't know, like, do they have a school for them where they train them on how to beg? Like, I don't understand. It's just so surprising. You know, my mother once told me a story about this particular beggar who every day he goes to this particular begging spot, spreads his mat, begs for his alms. When he's done, he goes back home. Every day he continues doing the same thing. And then some individuals within the community decided that they are going to follow this man and see where he sleeps. You wouldn't believe it. This man has actually built a mansion with the alms he had begged for several years. But that's just a story though. But what these children are suffering from is more than living their lives to be wasted. They are subjected to unhealthy conditions. Just imagine those cars along the roadside passing and just slamming them or slamming into them. What happens? They've lost their lives. With how they live, you tend to think about it that, are they living? Are they surviving? What are they doing? Do they have a future at all? There is no school for them. There is nothing for them. Their life is just limited to the street. You wake up in the morning, you come to the roadside with your mother, and you move from one caste to another. Why should somebody's life be defined by this? And what even then tears my heart so much is looking at a girl child on the roadside. The amount of hazard available to that girl child. Individuals can just rape them, and before you know, they become early mothers. And you have a lot of these people, from Kayayo people, you see all Kayayos carrying children at their back. And you ask yourself, you don't have money to feed yourself. How are you then getting money to feed your child? Or even the beggars on the street. It's so surprising that one woman can give birth to 13 children. I interviewed a lady and she said she gave birth to 13 children. I don't understand. Even us, who have some stable income family, our parents are making money, they do family planning, giving birth to 3 children, 2 children, and the beggars on the streets are giving birth to 13 children. Why? Do they have a farm? Like, it's just so surprising. Whether you're on the street or not, as a child, you should not be subjected to such unhealthy conditions. Children have their rights, but it looks like we are not applying those rights for them. As parents, we should know our limits in giving birth. Please. I recall my grandfather gave birth to 10 children. I was complaining about it. No, actually, when you count from mother's side, father's side, when you add everything, it's 18 children. Just imagine counting yourself. I am number 13. But yes, parents should know their limits. They should know their limits in giving birth. Whether you are a beggar or you have a stable income, you should know your limits in giving birth. Give birth to the child and train the child. So right now, what do we do? Who is in charge? Who allows all those people to come in? Like, I heard we have some Liberia camp. I don't know if it's because of that camp that we have a lot of Fulanis and Liberians on our street, because they pose a lot of hazard, not only to themselves, but to us, because of all these theft issues and increasing the population. The government would then have so much mouths to feed. Like, why is that? So yes, we have a lot of questions unanswered, and hopefully in our next episode, we'll be able to tackle all of this. And yes, maybe have some individuals interviewed. This is another inspiring episode on the BISA platform. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and follow us on all our social media pages. On LinkedIn, it's Be Inspired, the Stories from Africa. On YouTube, it's Be Inspired, the Stories from Africa. Press that button. And on Facebook, it's BISA with Betty. And yes, this is your favorite host, Betty Osei Bonsu. Thank you, and once again, don't forget to subscribe. Be inspired with stories from Africa. It's BISA.